Yes.
So, to start off our topic, we have decided is deciphering the truth behind documents. So, to start with, the Ottoman Empire was a large empire at one point in time, and they covered an area stretching from North Africa as well as the southern Europe. Also, we had a part of the Arab region. And the Sharia court was set up in such a manner that it covered both the Muslims as well as the non-Muslims. This meant that the Jews, the Christians and the Muslims had the same laws. The Jews and the Christians also had their own community courts where they could present their cases, especially the Jews. Particularly the Jews were at one point forbidden to use the Sharia law to settle their disputes. But many Jews, we could see, were going for the Sharia law to settle their disputes, whether it was between Jew and Christian, or Jew and a Muslim. Another thing we noticed is that the economic integration was brought about due to these among these religious communities. Moreover, the court was able to bring territorialization in the society with this Sharia law. Moreover, the sigil, it doesn't particularly tell what community, what skin color, what society, or what linguistic background that a person comes from. Without a particular differentiation, the sigil manages to have certain details put forth by the name, the place where they are from, or the gender, their profession. This means that while your skin color is not being told in particular, where you are from might show what is your skin color or what is your what's your background. Moreover, it was kind of understood that the law was meant for the Muslims, but that it was a large umbrella that covered everyone and it catered to everyone in the society. We had people from we had the Arabs, we had the Bosnians, we had also the Egyptians, all under the same roof. This sort of duality of silence and also a partial silence and chatter was responsible to keep why in their differences, that the differences of various backgrounds, it was also managing to have a unified country and territorialism being brought forth. Also, we had selective amnesia. While this sigil that we spoke about was being written, the writers or the curators, they managed to have selective amnesia while writing. So only certain details, that is, like I spoke before, the ethnicity and the color were not being portrayed, but their name in particular, maybe their surname or their other details such as where they come from, could give out their background details, and that was the duality that we could see. Also, the sigil managed to classify people based on their occupation, as in or their status in the society, such as widows, widowers, slaves, prison, soon to be released from prison, and so on. The duality there was that while some people wanted these in writing, not everyone wanted it. The regular Muslims were not particularly interested in the day-to-day goings and these kind of differentiations. The power of the document particularly came into being, especially for widows or slaves. We had the eunuchs as well as the men who were slaves initially and who rose to power, and later as a powerful slave they were given freedom. Now such a person could not just go about and say, tell to the world that he is a free citizen. For this, he initiated and he wanted his right in writing so that he could show it to any court, any high court, and get his freedom. This meant also for the widows. At any point in time, if an ex-husband approached the court and said that she is my wife and she has to be under my roof, the widow could always show the document and get her rights done. So these were two particular cases where the document had a positive influence.
Yeah, so basically this document sigil that we're talking about, so basically it's creating a duality. So one part of the duality is it is a tool of selective amnesia. It is giving the power to the writers to write it in a way that they want to, yet make the people feel that it is unified for everyone. So like sigil does not specifically mention that there are differences in between different communities, between different ethnicities, but they tacitly bring that differences through flagging it through residential areas, like certain community can live only in that particular area. So they are trying to bring these kind of things through other things. So like for example, Ottoman Empire recruited servants from people living in boundaries which were mostly Christians. So sigil did not explicitly mention that these are Christians or people who have to be hired as servants have to be Christians or anything like that, but it implicitly did all this. And the second part of duality is that it was also trying to showcase that people are now powerful, that the law is more unified, and they were getting this. They could avail this pujas. So like earlier, if there were servants and if they wanted to free themselves, so they did not have any proof, but now they can carry these documents which are called pujas to prove their freedom. So this is the duality that this document is giving. But on one side, it is not mentioning that the communities are different or they are different, but on the other side, it is actually making them different. So one more thing that was being considered good with respect to this puja was that earlier what happened was that suppose if a wife took husband to court for divorce, so if that court declined that divorce, that the woman, if the court accepted the divorce, then the woman, then the man went to other courts. So that particular proceedings did not hold any value. But now, if one court said that okay, divorce is accepted, so this puja document was released, which was a proof to the wife that okay, the divorce is done. So actually, what is the true nature of this document? On one side, it feels like it is unifying the entire Ottoman Empire and all the laws are common for everyone. But on the other side, it is also propagating differences through different things like names and other things. So this is very important. Writing becomes the instrument of abusive power of a caste of intellectuals that is ensuring hegemony, whether its own or its special interest. So whoever the people who write puja, the people who write silji, so they get this entire authority to define it according to their requirements, to propagate their agenda. They get the complete freedom. But they don't make people feel that way by giving them certain respite from it.